2026 is the beginning of a brand new cycle. Some of us felt it right away. Some of us, it's starting to come along bit by bit. But by now, middle of the month, most of us should be feeling that this is a different year and it invites me to do something different. So today I'm going to share the tools and how to start living as a fifth dimension being, as a truly conscious, empowered being by making some very different, very energetically conscious, informed decisions. Things that were taught by masters that have been hidden for years. And it is a time to really become aware of energy and live energetically in the highest level. So if you're new to my channel and you haven't really been here before, welcome. I'm Sonia Choquette. I'm a fifth dimension guide. I am an intuitive writer, author, teacher, you name it, I've done it. But here, this year, I am a bridge to the fifth dimension. And if you're coming back, welcome back. We're going to talk about how to start setting the atmosphere in your home so that you aren't drained, you aren't dragged down by negative energy in the field, negative energy in the frequencies, and how to really become empowered. So the first thing to do is to recognize that energy affects you. Whether we want to acknowledge it or not, it is no longer a belief. It is an established fact that we are energetic beings. We affect one another energetically, but so does atmosphere and place and things. So let's start this here by clearing the energy so you're not dragged down by things that really don't need to drag you down. So I'm going to name some things that I was taught by my master teachers to keep my environment clear, and I can tell you they really make a difference. So the first is to be aware of your home. It's a container of energy, and it would be a really good practice, really good to start this year by clearing your home. And one of the easiest ways to do it is first start with the obvious. Go through your home, cupboards, drawers, closets. It's an effort, but so worth it. And just decide not to hold on to anything that drags you down, takes your energy, has sort of a sentimental obligation that doesn't really feel good, because that's called a cord. I'll talk about that later. And then just decide to donate and give it back to the universe. Take it to a place where you can donate. Don't try to sell it. Just give it away, because you're going to put it back in flow and it will come back to you in positive energy 10,000-fold. So this means clothes, shoes, books, things that aggravate you. For example, I have a lamp that I got from a very expensive place, and for about 3 months, ever since I moved, it's actually been 4 or 5, it hasn't worked. It's just an energy suck. I once tried to have it repaired, and it was repaired for like all of 2 or 3 weeks, and it broke again. It's not bringing light into my environment. It's sucking it out. So today I've decided it's gotta go. I'll get another light, but I won't let this suck the energy and take up the space it should be bringing light. It's this kind of awareness that has been dismissed as woo-woo, but is actually energetically intelligent self-support. Also, things that aggravate you. For example, clothes you put on that just don't feel good anymore, or maybe never did. Just decide, cut the cord, let it go. I'm not going to let it drain me. So that's step number 1. And then step number 2 is to go through your house and get rid of and make sure, just really check this out. This is super important. You're not going to have any stagnant bowls of water. Dr. Emoto in the early 2000s, maybe even earlier, a Japanese scientist discovered that water holds consciousness. I've actually even used rituals to put in consciousness of higher vibration. But stagnant water pulls in negative energy. So where's stagnant water in your house? Maybe pet bowls of water. Maybe you have a glass of water, for example, that you put by your bed you didn't drink. Maybe there's stagnant water in a vase. Something that hasn't been changed in the last 36 hours, 24 is better. Clear it. That water holds bad energy. It sucks negative energy. So just make it a point that in my environment, there will be no stagnant water. Now, if you put water on your altar, which I recommended, you change it every day. Just put a little bit of clear water, because water is emotion and it needs to be energy in motion. So that is going to change your vibration tremendously. The next thing is you want to make sure that you don't let screens pull you in instead of daylight. So create daylight, bring light in, and shut screens off and shut their covers. And frankly, don't, for the first hour of the day or the last hour of the day, let your energy be drained by screens, because this interferes with your spirit being able to connect with your higher self and your divine realm. So you won't dream, or you'll have negative dreams. So it's going to take a discipline. But for the first hour of the day and the last hour of the day, no screens, because it just sucks you into a negative vortex and cuts you off from your higher self, from your inner guidance, from what nurtures your spirit. So this is a discipline that I highly encourage you to incorporate in 2026. And just put in the comments, okay, I'm going to do this. And then come back in 2 weeks and tell me if your dreams are back online, if your intuition is sharpening, if your mind is calmer, if your nervous system isn't shell-shocked, especially between 2 and 4 in the morning, because it's those screens before bed that set you up for all this negativity and just the world noise. So shut it off. Now, this is another thing that my teachers told me that I believe could be a bit challenging for you, but I want you to look in through your life and see if you were given any gifts from someone in the past that turned out to be not a good connection, negative vibration. This could be jewelry, this could be books, this could be, just photos and vases and trinkets or shirts or, mementos that maybe were exchanged when you were having an energetic relationship of some sort, but in the end turned out to be very draining. And these things get courted, especially gifts from people that I always say, I call it the banana nut bread syndrome. And the reason I call that is because for a long time, strange people who wanted to just glom onto my energy and kind of insert themselves into my life kept showing up at my door with banana nut bread. I think they heard that I liked it and kind of like, oh, I just thought of you. I just want to bring this gift. I want to bring you banana nut bread. But with it came a big hook that said, look how nice I am. You owe me. You need to be available to me. And one of my teachers said, any gift that's given to you that doesn't feel really earned or accurate, given without no strings attached, give it away. I get gifts all the time from strangers. And I know that their intentions are good, but they also might be courted. So I give them away because that's my spiritual training. I do not hang on to things that I don't feel I've deserved. I don't feel are appropriate. So if somebody's giving you a gift, it could be a love bombing thing, or it could be just kind of a, here you go, believe me, there might be some strings attached and you can tell the difference. I do. And I want you to clear those out, because those are like little leaks in your energy field that just have people pulling on you. And you often feel it when you dream. You might feel it when you just might feel they're pulling on you. And it's like, no, you do not get me this way. If you want my attention, you call me on the phone or you write me directly and you ask for it. And I get to choose, but you don't just get to come and siphon it off. It's a very different way for most people to live. It certainly is the way I've lived my whole life, taught by my teachers that everything is energy, and to be very conscious and discerning about what's taking my energy. Not sentimental, like, oh, that was so cute, or they meant so well, and I need to hold on to this, because you don't. You want to live more in a Zen-like energy, like nothing extra, nothing with sentimental obligation, Believe me, within a week to 2 weeks, you will feel like a different person, sleeping like a baby. If that doesn't entice you, I don't know what. Calm mind, calm emotion. Now, this is a big one. And that is that if you have things that are passed along to you, or you picked up in, say, vintage shops, or you've picked up in secondhand stores, you do not want that energy in your house unless you clear it. You do not want, and you know what's really, really strong is religious things. Religious things that have because most religious things were owned by people who had a lot of fear. They may have prayed a lot, but they might have been praying out of emotion, and they might have been praying out of desperation, and they might have been praying out of fear and anxiety. And that stuff is stuck in those energies. So this one I get a lot of pushback from, but my teacher said, do not hold on or hang on to anything that comes from some deeper religious, fearful base that you've passed along. You know, maybe you can put them in your garden, or maybe you can put them back in the earth where they neutralize, but I wouldn't have them in your home. I inherited a rosary from my mom that had a lot of talismans on it that she'd had her whole life. So I was really torn by that because she was a miracle worker. And I know that she prayed with a lot of conviction. And I didn't know her to be a fearful person, more just intentional, like it's going to be a miracle or nothing. So I asked my guides what to do, and they told me to put it in a bowl of water with salt and crystals out in the sun for a few days to clear the energy of any fear, because she did go through a lot of horrendous things, especially during World War II and being in concentration camps, horrible things she never talked about, but still it might have been in the field. So I did that. So if you have something you really, truly love, then take, if you can, if it's something that can go into a bowl of water. If not, I would put it in a bowl of salt, sea salt, crystals, and put it in the sun and say whatever energy is negative, fearful, that's infused in here, clear it. Now, what if you have a piece of furniture? What if you have, well, I would check the vibe. Does that vibe give you a sentimental hangover? Do you feel like, oh, pulled into the past? Then maybe you want to donate it. Now, a lot of people really push back on this, so don't write me how horrible this is. I'm just inviting you to decide if that is a neutral energy that lifts you up, or if it's just a whole piece of misery from generations and generations that you're swimming in. Because we as fifth dimensional beings need to start really thinking about and being aware of and experiencing what kind of energy is affecting me. What kind of energy do I choose to be in? I personally have been criticized a lot because I have been taught, keep the energy moving. I live very simply. I don't hold on to anything that doesn't make me feel good. I've given things away that have a lot of value. I don't try to sell them because that'll just as an exchange of energy. Just give it away and say, I hope this finds a home where it brings a lot of joy. Now, people said, are you giving away negative energy to someone else? No, because they're neutral. It's only negative to me. It's neutral to them. And I actually enjoy doing it, especially things that I know other people can use. So the last thing I recommend to really live at a higher frequency is to live as simply as you can, by giving away or not accumulating things just out of habit. A lot of us accumulate things because we're trying to seek comfort. And we're trying to put material things, we've been taught the material things will give us comfort, when in fact they often just give us a headache. What does give you comfort is space, meditation, music, walks in nature, movement, breathing, Epsom salt baths, hugs, candlelight, but don't leave candles unattended. This gives you comfort. But accumulation of things, keep it really mindful. I'm not saying don't acquire things, but I'm saying think, what am I acquiring this for? And is it a comfort? Have I tried to find my comfort directly? To become energetically intuitive, guided, conscious, empowered, creative beings, we need to clear the heavy frequencies and the noise. And that's what this is about. Starting, we're marching now well into the new year. The actual fire horse year starts more in February. So we're getting ready to just take off and have the kind of experiential life that is clear vibration, empowered, clear mind, open heart, grounded body, connected to my guides, quickly manifesting. It's possible, but these are the kinds of housekeeping things and energy things that we need to change. The other thing, and this is just one last thing, is mirrors can be collectors of negative energy. So I don't think you should necessarily get rid of all your mirrors, although my teachers taught me to look in the mirror as little as possible, which I do. You can tell. But because it can take your energy, you can form it, you can have a mirror back to you, a mental image instead of an accurate one where you're critical. So don't put mirrors facing your bed. If you do have a mirror facing your bed, cover it with a sheet at night. And if you can move it, move it. And look in mirrors as little as possible so that you don't reinforce some sort of superficial sense of who you are. Your goal in all this conversation is to turn your light up and don't let things drain your light. Do not. We need to live differently, vibrationally. I've lived this way my whole life. It's allowed me to become a clear channel. It's allowed me to write. I've channeled 32 books. I am a great teacher. I feel guided. I channel light beings. And frankly, it's a normal thing if you clear and keep the space around you energetically. Watch it, clear it, and don't deny something if it's draining your energy. So don't confuse sentimentality with love. The divine is with us at all times. The people we love that are in spirit are with us at the highest frequency. We don't have to hold on to things that might have been collecting fear and drama. We don't want to have water stagnant. We don't want to have reflections that set us up to be critical of ourselves. These are little decisions, big difference. I was taught these things when I was very young. I've been doing it all my life, and now my guides are telling me to share this with you. If you're new to this channel, please put in the comments anything you're going to try, things that you sense yourself, things you have tried, because this is a dynamic channel where we converse and interact. Thanks for joining this community, and if you haven't subscribed yet, please do. And if you think this might help someone, share it. I want this channel to expand and work at the highest level so we can elevate and bring up and clear the emotional bodies and connect to the spirit as many people as we can this year. That's my goal. And if you need more guidance, you can read my book, Trust Your Vibes. You can read my book, Ask Your Guides. You can read my book, True Balance, and also read Life Accurately. I've written 32 books, but these 4 are really good. So you can find the link to those in the comments, and I want you to let us know how this is working for you. Please subscribe. See you next week. All my love.